Well, sorry folks, I've been off the grid, literally off grid here for probably about 3 weeks. So not a lot has happened, but I've been off there. That's why you haven't been seeing fishing reports. So like I said, I've been literally off grid. Well, I'm back on grid, and here we go. So like everybody's been asking for a fishing report. So what's been going on? Well, the reality is the fishing has been pretty slow. The last couple of weeks it's been hot. Water temperatures have gotten warm. The fish have been really light trickles of fish going through the DSR. Basically about mid-run in the Douglas and Salmon run there's a jag of fish, and if you're fishing the upper half you'll get into them, and that game is usually over by 9:30, 10 o'clock in the morning, and then after that you're just picking on strays. Even down on the bottom end it's same thing. Usually it's a night run, you'll see them, and then there's in the bottom end you get a knot fish moving through. So the fishing's been very slow in base most of the river. If you get a really prime spot, lower river, first thing in the morning, you could get a little bit of action. Even like below town or above town, some of those little pinch point areas, you can get some first light action for a few hours. So that's kind of water temperature has been an issue. It's been warm. It's been warm at night. So we've had water temperature in the lower river that actually hit up to 72 degrees when we really need 65. So that's been the grind while I've been quiet and I've been off grid. Now, just recently, as I've been getting back onto the river and getting back into the swing of things, this morning we had a pretty good rain this morning into last night. It rained pretty good here. I haven't checked the rain gauge. The last few days prior to yesterday, I dumped 1.5 inches of rain gauge out of the rain. Keep in mind, all this rain, all it is barely maintenance. The ground is so dry right now, we could throw 2 inches, 2.5 inches rain on it, and water flows won't move much. I know we got a teeny little bump on the gauges, and I think the north branch of the Salmon River is reading over 200, but we're still on a negative. The reservoir water's getting low. We need a hurricane rain. So I've been drilling over those hurricanes down in Florida, hoping we can get drenched in a few days. That'd be great. We are due for a good run of fish. I was on the water this morning. It's the same old tiny fish grind. Now, keep in mind, we've been having little drabs of fish coming through every day for the last 3 weeks. The fly zones have a fair amount of fish in them. That's actually probably your best concentration of fish, obviously, is the fly zone, end of the road. Those fish have been up there for a while. They're crabby, so you want to fish like 8-pound tippets, little lighter tippets, smaller flies. Yeah, keep them down to about 1.5 inches, like size 6, size 4 wet fly size hooks would be perfect. Little tiny micro buggers, little small buggers, little small wets are what's going to work up there really good. And it's going to be more of a dead drift than a swing. Nature of the beast. They've been hanging out in there quite a while. The salmon fishermen call them stale fish, or old fish. As they sit up there, they like a fly that's a little bit more of a drift than a swing. So you got to have a really soft drift or a kind of a sloppy dead drift, and with those little small wet flies and buggers, and that should get the job done. Like I said, I would drop down to 8-pound up there, and hopefully that little softer tippet and letting that fly have a more of a natural drift and swing will be the answer. Downriver, we are picking some fish up with big buggers like size 4, small intruders, like that. And all the standard stuff, some blacks, some purples, some cherises mixed in. That's all been working, but you're covering a lot of water to get a grab. It's just not a lot of fish down there, and like I said, it's just first thing in the morning. Probably you're done by about 10:30, then it's just stray picking, and the fish get a little bit snooty themselves at that point, what few there is. So it's kind of a hunt them down type deal, cover a bunch of water. Fishing pressure is about normal, slightly light for this time of year. Obviously the fishing's not hot, so a lot of people are not coming in. So you can definitely find some quiet water. DSR is pretty busy, but if you don't want to deal with the DSR, it's a mid-river water. It's definitely, you can get away from the crowds and maybe find a fish or two to work with. So absolutely, that's a nice deal going on right there. So that's kind of what's up. Like I said, water temperatures today, the last couple of days have improved. So we're cooling down back into the 60s, even down in the bottom end of the DSR in the mornings, temperatures are good. When I left that water this afternoon, it was still holding good, decent temperature, so that's positive. So going forward, we're due, folks. We're due for a run. So we'll have to see. We're supposed to get some cooler weather the next few days. A little drier weather, but at least cooler. So hopefully that cooling will help. There is a big jag of fish. The rumor is a lot of fish out at the 140, 150 foot mark. A lot of fish waiting to come in. So who knows? We get the right blow on the lake. Those fish could ride that cold in, and up the river they go. So at this point, yeah, it's any day, any time. So like with the fish. So once again for flies, we've been using the little intruder stuff and buggers and things like that. Up top, you want to drop your flies down, some smaller comets, wet flies, and all that would work good up there. Speaking of flies, please note I do have some fly box selections in my vehicle. Unfortunately, we haven't got anything set up on the website yet. We will, but for now, if you see me, I'm near my vehicle and you're interested in a little box of flies that we're selling a little assortments for $125 in a box to help support the channel. There's like 4 dozen wets and I think like a dozen of the real nice big flashy intruder stuff that I like to use, so it's a pretty decent value. But if you see me, I'll have them. I should have them, and yeah, that'll help supply the channel. Also keep your ears open if we have any cancellation dates. I'll definitely mention them when I do the fishing report. So at this point, I would have to say that we are due for a run. We're overdue for a run. Water temperatures are going to be improving over the next few days, the way the weather forecast looks. So anytime, folks, cattle gates could get kicked open. There's a bunch of fish yet to run, and if you're up here and you're looking for concentration of fish, try upriver. If you're looking for some grabby fish, but you don't mind hunting some water and staying out of the crowds, try mid-river down. And of course, the Douglaston is, we're seeing some runs coming in at night, and they're kind of like mid-area, so you want to fish the up. I would recommend fishing the upper section of the DSR first thing in the morning, and then if you want to take a hike on downstream and see what you can, because after about 10 o'clock down there, it's basically we're hunting for strays. So that's what's up. Hope to see everybody in the river. And folks that stopped and said hello, it's good to say hello to you and see you and meet you. See you in the river, folks. It's fall and we're salmon fishing. See ya. This is Jay at JPEG Guides and Lost River Fishing. We are a year-round fly fishing catch and release guide service. We fish the Lake Ontario tributaries, and then during the spring and the summer we also fish the inland trout streams, classic dry fly fishing. During the heat of the summer, we will do the warm water fishing for bass and pike. If you're interested in any of our outings or have any questions, please feel free to email us at fish@lostriversfishing.com. Hope to hear from you, and if you have any questions, feel free to contact us.